She's bound like a wagon wheel in a negative rut. And this is what the Buddha was talking about in terms of samsara is not a place. Samsara is a state of mind of being bound. And everybody listening right now has samsara. I'm not going to say they're in samsara. I'm going to say we have samsara. We experience samsara. As long as consciousness is in its default setting, it's asleep. It's being driven. It's being driven by past impulses. It's being driven by a worldview which fires certain emotions, which are connected to certain behavioral actions, which become concomitant reactions that other people have with us, which then become self-fulfilling prophecies or reinforcement contingencies on our original belief systems. This is what the Buddha described as samsara, and to which he suggested this three-pronged approach for the alleviation. How do you break the chains of samsara? Well, you need mindfulness, or you need meditation, a stable mind. Then you need to change your worldview. You have to clear the doors of perception. And how do you do that? You do that through virtuous action. So what this young girl at 19 ends up doing in therapy is taking responsibility for her samsara. The first and most important thing is that she feels safe, of course. There are all these preconditions to therapy. It doesn't matter what kind of therapy. You have to have a sense of safety. You have to have a sense of a rapport. You have to have some trust that you're not alone. These are like the lever that makes therapy actually possible. Without them, there's no going forward into treatment. So, we had to get there. We had to survive a few of her late comings to therapy, sometimes her own self-destructive tendencies that wound up in therapy. She was angry at me. She didn't want to come to therapy. She didn't show up. She was doing all her self-defeating behaviors. But when we finally got around to a sense of consistency and that I was available and I was interested in her and I was listening to her and I wasn't afraid of her and I wasn't afraid of her anger. I wasn't afraid of her emotions, and I was able to tolerate and actually hear her plight and her difficulty without batting an eyelash or judging her, or gaslighting her, condemning her, or bailing on her. Then we've established the connection that then enables us to turn awareness around on itself so that she can claim responsibility for how this happens. Mindfulness meditation is awareness. It is about creating awareness. You and I meditated before we started this chat, and I can see that you're just tracking what I'm saying and you're using attention to track it, and you're processing in the meanwhile all of your own feelings, your own possibly your own responses. This is really important to slow down the apparatus. It's like life is moving at such a fast pace, and the past is informing the present and moving into the future at such a fast pace. Without some attention, we can't slow the frame by frame down. What we're looking for is a gap. We need a gap in the links, between the links. We need a gap between the links to break the cycle.
Hey, welcome to Today Dreamer, a podcast and YouTube channel where we explore the interplay between inner and outer work, and we look at what cultivating the practice of presence within our lives feels and looks like once we clear the mind and open the heart. So this is just a short clip from a full podcast episode, which I'll leave a link to around here somewhere. And if you'd like to check out the whole catalogue of episodes along with guided meditations and what I have on offer, please head over to todaydreamer.com and have a peek. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and click the little notification bell so you don't miss any of the good stuff to come.